All right, let's kick it off for another big segment here on the Steve Gruber Show. Remember to follow us on Twitter. We've got a movement out there. It's headed up by this guy named Elon Musk. Maybe you've heard of him. He's changing the world of media, and X is going to be the end all. It is. Everything you need, communication-wise, is going to be in one place, so you might as well be part of it. J.T. Young is the author of a brand new book, Unprecedented Assault, How Big Government Unleashed America's Socialist Left. It comes from Real Clear Publishing. My good friends at Real Clear, man, I spent more time on Real Clear politics during the election as you can imagine. I gamed out the election every single day. As it turned out a little bit better than even I had imagined. JT, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me on this morning, Steve.
Glad to have you here. So, unprecedented assault. We have been under assault from the socialist left, but we are fighting back. And what I mean by that, I see George Soros prosecutors getting kicked out of office. I see Americans voting for Donald Trump in a mandate. I see the border is going to be closed, energy is going to be unleashed, and wars are going to end. Where am I wrong?
You're not. You're not. And I think we're already seeing the effects of this right now. I mean, you can just see what is happening in the Middle East and the predicament that Iran now finds itself in, facing Donald Trump coming in, Syria with Assad falling there just days ago. I think that the people who have been in opposition to Trump abroad are quickly coming to grasp that this is a real mandate and a real change is on the way.
Yeah, all right. So real change is on the way, but as I often say, I'm gonna quote my favorite leftist, one of them anyhow, Neil Young. Neil Young, he said quite famously, rust never sleeps. And I think rust is just like socialism, JT. You can sand it down, you can paint over it, you can think that you've solved it, you can put oil on it, but that rust is going to start eating away again at the foundation. That rust is going to be there. Those socialists never really go away. They just change direction. It's like water. It finds the path of least resistance and makes its way down the hill. And that's the way I think socialism is. You have to keep sanding and painting and blocking it, or it'll just continue to rear its ugly head. Right?
No, you're absolutely right. And I think, we do get for the first time with this promise of the Department of Government Efficiency with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy coming in, we're finally going to start to get under the hood of just what the federal government, is doing with nearly a quarter of the nation's GDP in spending. And
well, we're missing, JT. We're missing, literally missing. This is not a euphemism. This is not rhetorical. We are missing trillions of dollars. They can't pass an audit at the Pentagon. They can't pass an audit at Social Security. They can't pass an audit and figure out where our money went. And that's why I think you're right. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are going to apply things like AI. Here's where AI can work for us. Where does this dollar go? How does this dollar get spent? What happened to this dollar? And that is so critical to respect the American taxpayer, right?
You're absolutely right. And I think, and it shouldn't just stop at the dollar going out the door in Washington. We need to look at the entire, what we would call the supply chain in the private sector. And we do get these kind of mandates now, and I think rightfully so, in regards to elements of security as to, where is your supply chain? Where are your products going? Well, the same thing should be applied to federal government spending. Who's getting these dollars? How are these dollars being used? You were just mentioning, the prosecutors that George Soros has put in across the country. Where are federal taxpayer dollars going to help support programs and activities that are actually antithetical to our values and to the desires of the people who pay the taxes here?
Yeah, it's about respect to the working men and women of this nation. You cannot squander the money, because if you squander the money and give it to this pet project and that pet project, or pay $180,000 for a nut or a bolt to Boeing or whatever the case might be, right? And I don't mean to pick on Boeing because it happens to a lot of companies. But if you don't figure out how to make sure that money is well respected shepherded through the system, then we are failing our taxpayers. We are failing this country. Wouldn't you
Right.
agree?
And absolutely. And what we're doing is nothing other than redistributing. We are taking from the federal taxpayer and we are giving to someone else. And all federal programs do this. And in some cases, obviously we're going to support that. But we need to know. And the federal taxpayers deserve to know. They work hard. They pay huge taxes. They've suffered under the burdens of inflation for 4 years. They have every right to know, where is my money going? Is it being used for programs that help me, help my family to achieve the American dream that they're all seeking to attain?
Yeah. Look, so Doge is huge, but we also need an accountability in some other places. Look, you know how they told us that Biden was the word of a Biden. The word of Joe Biden is the most. He's as pure as the driven snow, and anything that Joe Biden says, he's just better than Donald. Joe Biden is a corrupt politician. He is morally bankrupt. He pardoned his own son, and I believe they are lining up for more pardons in Washington right now. I think Jim Biden, Ashley, maybe Jill, who knows? They're going to pass out blanket pardons like they're party favors. As if Donald Trump didn't go after anybody in the first administration, but boy, are they nervous. Boy, are they nervous that they're going to get caught doing something illegal. They're nervous, aren't they?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And I think that the blanket pardon that we saw of Hunter Biden, I mean, this isn't just for the two cases that he's been charged with. And, he's already been convicted on the gun charges. He's pled guilty on the tax charges. So this pardon doesn't just wipe away those. It's blanket. It's everything that he has been charged with or could be charged with over 10 years, from 2014 to 2024. And the precedent that this sets, and I think just what you mentioned, Steve, that, and not just members of the Biden family, that I think is a real concern here, but members that were in the administration that have, weaponized the DOJ and other elements of the administration
Yeah.
over the last 4 years, of that these pardons could go at what we have just seen. These could be blanket. And I think it's very dangerous as to what could be coming over the next month. I mean, Joe
Oh, they're
Biden
going to
doesn't
be
leave
passing out.
office.
I guarantee you, JT, they're passing out. They're going to pass them out like they're party favors. And they're jockeying for them. You got Liz Cheney saying, I don't want or need a pardon. She's going to line up and get one. Mark my words. Anyhow, the brand new book, Unprecedented Assault, How Big Government Unleashed America's Socialist Left. It comes from Real Clear Publishing. You can find it now. JT, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Steve, for having me and keeping the fight up.
Now, we're going to fight the good fight every single day, my friend. Thank you for pointing that out. We're here for you. Remember to follow us on Twitter. That's what I ask of you. It's not a big ask. But Elon Musk is redefining the media, how we communicate, how we get our news, how we talk to each other, how we function as a society. Twitter, X, is the new center square. It is. We'll be back.